Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Bonnie Hawthorne, your go-to coach for everything event venues. Whether you're just starting out or looking to take your venue to the next level, you're in the right place. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce to you one of my clients and someone who has recently embarked on this incredible venue journey. Joining me is Bonnie Young, the proud owner of Be Social Event Space in Port Chester, New York. We're going to dive into her story, discussing the challenges, victories, and key insights she gained while bringing her venue to life. If you're curious about what it really takes to start an event venue, you won't want to miss this. So grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's jump in. Guys, so today I'm here with Bonnie Young of Be Social Event Space in Port Chester, New York. Bonnie is a new venue owner, so we're going to ask her some questions so that you can get some clarity on being a new event space owner. So first of all, Bonnie, I want to thank you for taking the time to sit down and talk to me. As you know, well, Bonnie was one of my clients. We actually did a few strategy calls, but I'm telling you guys, she is on her game. I am so proud of her. So Bonnie, you want to start by giving a little background about yourself? Why did you start an event space? Did you feel a need? What was your biggest challenges?
Hi, Bonnie. So thank you for inviting me to do this video with you. I do appreciate it. And just to let you know a little bit about myself, what inspired me to start an event space, I was planning my daughter's Sweet 16 party about 12 years ago and fell in love with it. A friend of mine was helping me at the time, and we had a good time planning. We were going out looking for places, picking out decorations and all of those things. So we fell in love with the idea and was like, we should start doing this as a business. And but it really didn't take off because we were both working. We had full-time jobs besides helping friends and family with events and things like that. So a couple of years later, well, fast forward to COVID. During COVID, I found someone was selling a course who was teaching how to open an event space business. And I was like, oh, that's a great idea, because when I was looking for places for my daughter's party 12 years ago, and internet is not like it is now, the only thing that was available was your banquet halls, banquet catering halls, your community room type of places, or it was either a restaurant with a party room, which is what we ended up going with. And there weren't many event spaces, at least I didn't know of them in my area. So it's actually the same way now. There are a few, but not many. So when I heard the idea, I was like, oh, this might work. This might be an idea, but I sat on it for a little while because it was COVID, and I was like, I don't know if this is such a good idea right now. People weren't really getting together anymore like that. So sat on it for a while. But as things started to open up, I revisited the idea, bought the course, went through it, and here I am. Never dreamed of being an event space owner, but this is a way that I can enjoy, allow people to celebrate, and I enjoy like I just get so much joy out of seeing people coming together and celebrate, and here I am.
So, in finding your space and everything like that, what were your biggest challenges that you faced? I mean, was it zoning? Was it renovations? Because I know you went through a renovation process as well. So you
Yes,
want to
I
talk
did.
to that a little bit?
The biggest challenge was finding the location. Honestly, that took me the longest time. Finding a place that was the right size, because I knew kind of what I wanted to start with, what I felt like I could handle. And also finding a place that had good enough parking, location, that aspect was important. Finding a landlord that was approving of having an event space business in their location, because I was looking for a place to rent. And also the biggest thing was it allowed in the area, the zoning aspect of it? Yes. So that was the biggest challenge, finding the location.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people think, okay, I want to start a venue, and they think,
Mm-hmm.
voila, I'm going to find a space like overnight. And I try to impress upon people, it can take months. I mean, months
Mm-hmm.
to find the proper space, and to mention landlord. You know, some of them are very reluctant to have event venues in a space because they're talking about damage to their property. You know, disturbance of their neighbors. So, was that
Yes.
any issues when you talked to the landlords?
No, actually, the landlord for this space was very open to it. I actually share the building that I'm in. I share with a restaurant that's in front of me. So the area was perfect for it. It's down by a waterfront. Like there's across the street from my building, there's a nice little a river over there, and it's nice. But the landlord was very open to it. Yeah.
Good, good.
This
So,
one was, but I went through many who was not.
right, right. Yeah, because I'm
Yes.
like, everybody's not open to having an event space, you know? And so that's
No.
one of the difficulties. Like, I've had clients that, like, oh, I found a space I really like, but the landlord's not open to it, you know? And
And not
so,
only that, rent. You have to find a place that is rent friendly, for your budget. And also one of the things that I found, like if it was a place that all of the pieces fit, then it was probably too much work in the space for me to for that I more than I wanted to handle as far as renovations.
so did you run into any problems with zoning and permitting or anything when you were doing your renovations? And how much renovations did you actually do to your space?
I didn't run into any problems as far as renovations. It was just a matter of filing all of the proper permits at the village that I'm in, the town that I'm in. That took about almost 2 months to get everything approved for my contractor to, it was about 6 weeks that it took for them to approve everything for my contractor to get started.
Yeah, so I just wonder if you ran into any problems with zoning, and let's stay on the task that you're talking about, your contractors, because that's a lot of things, big issue too. Because I know that I've had strategy calls with clients that says, "Oh, I gave the contractor my money up front. They ran away. They didn't do the work, or they didn't not doing the work to my specifications." Did you have any problems with anything like that?
My only issue with my contractor was he was very good. I did interview several, and he wasn't the least expensive. He kind of came in midway, but I felt like, based upon the work that he showed me that he did, and he came recommended from my realtor also, that he would be a good fit for the job. The only issue that I had, and which was a big learning experience for me, is when you are negotiating what work is to be done, you have to make sure that that is the work that's going to be done. So almost near the end of the project, there were things that he added. Not that it wasn't part of the work, but he, for whatever, misquoted his pricing. So it went up extremely, which ate a lot of my budget that I was anticipating using for other things in the business. So that was the only thing that I ran into. And at the point where we were, it was too late to find another contractor and go through the whole, process of filing again. So I just had to eat it and get it done.
Right. So now that you're open, you've gone through zoning, you've gone through the permitting, and you're open, is there anything that you can look back now and say, I would have done this completely different had I known?
I made sure that all of the zoning was correct. I even went to the town. I had a meeting with them I had to kind of present my business to them, business plan and everything to them. So to make sure I did all of my due diligence with that. The only thing I would say is just really, really vetting the contractor and making sure that, everything that he said he's going to do is what it's going to be. And that's it. And, anything else, it should not be on me. Right. Since he misquoted, it should have been his responsibility, but we were going back and forth, and I was like, I just need to get this done. So I had to move forward. Okay. Yeah.
So now that you're open, you've been open, 6 months now?
Well, my grand opening was November 30th, basically December. So yes, it's now July 1st. So it's going into the 7th month. Yes.
Okay. And so as far as let's your pricing. How did you come up with your pricing strategy for your venue?
That's something that I'm still working on actually because I'm so new to this. But what I thought about was, I did some research on what it is to rent tables, what it is to rent chairs. And also I did a little research of what venues, some of the venues in the area. I had to go out a little farther because, like I said, there aren't many where I am, but just what they were offering. I also had to consider my finances to make sure that everything is covered, as far as my monthly responsibilities are concerned. And I just created my pricing that way, doing some price comparison, doing a little research of what I offer, and creating it that way.
And so, as far as your legalities, your contracts, have you, since beginning your venue to now, have you had to make adjustments in your policy and procedures for your contract?
I am changing my constantly.
Yes.
It's like constantly changing my contract all the time because as different events happen, and different questions that I'm still learning as I'm going through it. But as I get customers who ask of different things, I'm like, oh, that needs to be covered. Or maybe that needs to be taken out, or, things like that. So I'm constantly changing my contract.
Yeah,
I feel like that's going to happen the first year or so until I get
and beyond, because it's like I tell people, like a business plan. Your contract is ever evolving because I'm telling you, every event someone will surprise you and do something that you never thought people will do, right? And then you have to go back and make those adjustments. you know, I always say to myself, who would do that? Well, evidently somebody did it, and so I need to now adjust the contract. So.
Yes, and you did teach me that. Yes. Yes, you did.
So as far as your marketing and client relations, where have you found that your clients reside? On what social media platform? How are you reaching? How are you engaging with your clients?
It is so funny, Bonnie. I only post on Instagram. People are finding me on Instagram and they tell me that they Google me. I have a website and I made sure to include certain words and my wording in my website so that when they Google, event spaces in Westchester or something like that, I come up. They say, and I ask everyone who comes in, I say, how did you find me? And they say Google, or they say Instagram, or word of mouth. I'm on one platform. It's called Eventective. That's the only platform that I use. So I don't know, when people say Google, I try to dig a little more to see if they went to Eventective or was it just Google, but most people say they just Google me. They just Googled event space and that's how they find me.
Okay, and so as far as Instagram, your social media platform, how many times a day are you posting on there? And what are you posting? Are you posting feed? Are you posting the stories? Are you posting reels? Where do you think you're getting more engagement?
I mostly post reels. I do like maybe 1 or 2 a day. I am not an Instagram expert. What you see is me, and that's what you get. So I post reels once, maybe twice a week. I try to post at least 3 times a week, whether it's a reel, a post, a story, I share a story. I try to stay as active as I can, but it's mostly like 2 to 3 times a week.
Well, I know, to be honest, you're doing a fabulous job because I'm constantly on your page. Yeah. I tell people all the time, I say, oh, that's my client. I'm so proud, because
thank you.
It's a struggle, to start a venue and to have your hands in everything, So have you found that you're overwhelmed? Are you looking to get an assistant, a virtual assistant, anything like that? So how you're hiring, or do you have staff now, or where are you at in that process?
I am still wearing every hat in the business. I am like a one-woman show. It is overwhelming. It is tiring. It is taxing. But it's like the passion that I have for the business doesn't allow me to really be tired. Like in my brain, I know I'm tired, but the passion and the drive that I want this to be successful doesn't allow me to be tired that way. I do have a young lady who I have brought on to help me part-time. She's helping me with like administrative things, answering emails, answering some calls and sending out proposals and things like that. And I'm currently working on putting together a handbook because she's learning with me as I'm learning. Like I'm teaching her things as I'm learning things, and it's kind of difficult, but because she's efficient and she's smart and she's what's the word I'm looking for? Like she's a forward thinker. Like she knows how to figure things out on her own. She been really helpful in helping me organize things and implementing things. So as time grows, I'm going to, you know, maybe hire someone for cleaning and hiring an attendant. You know, I'm doing all of those things right now. I'm here during events that while events are going on, I'm checking, you know, the hallways. I'm checking the bathrooms to make sure it's clean. It's, you know, there's tissue, that the air is correct and things like that. Like I'm doing all of those things. I'm the social media person. I'm the tour person.
I know the feeling. I did it for 3 years, but one thing I want to say, burnout is real, sis. So
Yeah.
I just, you know, at some point, you know, I think we may have talked about this before. Go to a community college that has hospitality or something like that, and bring those people on, because they may need some internship, and I'm talking about unpaid internship just to get for that experience. So think about something like that, because you got to think about when you become, if you, God forbid, if you get ill, who's going to take up the torch, right?
Right.
So yeah. And
or if I want to go on vacation, I haven't even planned a vacation yet,
Yeah.
and it's like.
And that was the thing with me. I ran my venue by myself for 3 years, and praise God, I had someone to come into my door and say, "Hey, I'm working at a venue now. They're about to close." I said, "So are you looking for a job? Are you trying to be a venue coordinator?" And she was like, "Yeah." And so I said, "Well, when can you start?" You know, and she's like, "Well," and she's like, "This venue closes," because I hadn't taken a vacation in years. You know, I had not been able to even, you know, go on a date with my husband because my Saturdays were booked, right? And so when I brought her on, when I tell you life changing.
Oh, we do dates on Tuesdays. We do dates. We do dates Mondays to Thursdays.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You got to go off the beaten path to have your life, right?
Yeah,
so, but that's one thing that, and I know you're new in the process and you need to figure everything out. Then you can bring staff on, but just, you know, remember, you know, that work-life balance, you know, so you don't overextend yourself. So what do you have for future plans? Where's the Be Social going in the future? What do you see for it?
I definitely want to expand, and I love weddings. Like I am a diehard romantic. I love weddings, and I love to see a bride come in the room and like, you know, and they're tearing up. I'm just tearing up with them and everything. Like even on TV, I'm like, oh my God, that's beautiful. So I definitely want to expand because my space accommodates maximum 100 people. But realistically, for a wedding reception, I suggest 60 the max, you know, because I don't have a full service kitchen. So one kind of has to be built, you know, where my kitchenette area is. So that takes up some space in the room, you know. So if somebody wants plated style type of wedding reception, seated dinner, where they're served, I suggest 60 to 70 people max. So when that doesn't work for everyone, everyone is looking for 100 to 150. So I would love to expand to a little bit bigger space that can accommodate that. I also want to start hosting my own events, you know, like during the week, to have maybe different type of events, like jazz nights or things like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having my own events.
So what kind of events are you hosting now? Are you having, like during the week, are you having corporate events, play people like realtors, Mary Kay, come in for meetings or anything like that? So, and then the weekends, what are your number one events that you're hosting?
So I'm looking forward to reaching out to more corporates to fill up my weekdays, because during the week right now is kind of quiet. So I've had a handful of events for some nonprofit events. They've held it here. Some classes have been held here during the week, but not many. So I do have to start marketing to, you know, some of the things that you said, that you've told me to do. I have to start marketing to them to fill up the week, because the weeks are kind of empty. The weekends, I'm mostly getting a lot of baby showers, birthday parties, but mostly baby showers are very popular here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I find that to be the case in the intimate space as well. So what about, do you have any plans for, I mean, since you're an intimate space, do you have any plans for elopements weddings, pop-up weddings, anything of that nature?
Yes, I am currently actively in the process of working with a wedding event planner and a florist to offer I guess it would be, I don't know if it's a micro wedding package. Like I said, it's going to be a maximum of 60 people. I know micro is kind of, they consider it to be even smaller, but just a wedding package that we can offer, like something that's kind of like one-stop shopping, minus the caterer, because they may want to have their own catering, things like that. So we are putting together a package because I would love to do that. Elopements, I'm gonna look into that as well.
I found in my intimate space, the intimate weddings and the elopements and pop-ups are very profitable for an event space, especially the pop-up. The pop-ups, I was able to do like 4 or 5 weddings in one day. You know, they're our weddings and it encompasses everything. So if you haven't thought about that, we'll talk offline about that. So maybe you can implement that. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
That will bring them in the door, because even if you're having, instead of having one big wedding, you're having multiple weddings that will still cover your overhead and everything, you know, with multiple weddings. So it's really popular, you know, and it'll bring, so we'll talk about that.
Definitely.
So what advice would you offer someone that's looking to start events? And to be honest, what do you think about the courses and, you know, and all this that you're hearing like on social media, like all you gotta do is find a space, right? Go to Facebook and get you some chairs and tables and bam, you open up an event venue, you know? So what is your take on all this, and what advice would you offer an aspiring venue owner?
So as far as all of the hype on social media about go out, get a space on Facebook, all of that stuff. So how do I say it? So they're not teaching you how to run a business. They're teaching you how to go out and get a space. And I think that may be one of the key elements that's missing. Is how to run a business. So that would be my advice to anyone who's interested in opening an event space business is education, taking a business class, also getting a mentor or a coach that can help you, you know, help you through obstacles or things that you may come across with different decisions. Definitely research and a lot of planning. And that's, definitely that. Learn how to run the operations part of the business is what I'm learning as I'm going through this. And it's not as easy as just opening up your doors and just having people come in, and you got to have certain things in place. You got to have contracts in place. And I would suggest I had contracts that I had a lawyer review to make sure that I'm being protected, and that, you know, also my clients are being protected. Mostly my business is being protected. Those things are important. It's not just about just going out, getting tables and chairs and renting out a room. That's fine. But I think if you want to protect your investment that you put into, you really need to educate.
Right.
Educate.
And you know, I also tell people, and so let me ask you, do you have a business background before you started your event space?
No, I worked for Verizon for 30 years, and that's telecommunications. Right. I did not have a business background, so that's why I encourage people to educate themselves.
Right.
I bought that course that I was telling you about, and like I said, it was the foundation of it. It was a lot of good information there, but I also I'm thinking about even continuing education at my local community college on venue management, because I feel like those things as I'm learning, as I'm going, as I'm, you know, customers are coming in, I'm hearing what their needs are, what they want, things that I just didn't know.
Right.
And again, the major part of it though is the operations, definitely.
And so, you know, we've done strategy calls. And so how did you feel about the strategy calls? Did you think that they helped you? You know, was the information informative? And be honest, please be completely honest.
No, absolutely. If it wasn't for you, Bonnie, if it wasn't for you, you gave me so much good information. First of all, your space was lovely, and I kind of modeled my space kind of after yours. I was like, I want everything to look just like this. Just so happened I found a space that was some, with the brick walls and all of that stuff. But the information that you gave was extremely helpful. I still have things that I have not taken action on, but it was extremely helpful so far. I think I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for the grace of God. I'm doing very good based on the information that you have shared with me, your mentoring and your strategy calls. Yes.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. But I'm telling you, I mean, truly, like I said, I follow you all the time. I look at your posts, I look at your keywords, I Google you from different computers to see if where you come up in the rankings. So, and I must say, and it did me so proud when you said I'm using keywords, because I'm always driving it home to people. You have to use those keywords, venue, wherever you're located, hashtag whatever state you're in, and things like that. And to hear you say that kind of drives it home, because a lot of people are telling people out here hashtags don't matter, and they do, and those keywords really matter, especially with
I think they do. Yeah. And if they do, I'm going to do them anyway. Because they're there for a reason. They must be working.
I'm very delighted to hear you tell people, because this is another thing that I drive home to people. If you don't have any business background, the SBA, Small Business Association, they have online courses to get you acclimated to, how to, not just to start a business, but the economics of running a business. So I'm so happy to hear you tell people, education is key, because it certainly is.
That's so important. Education, like I said, running a business, finding out the legal requirements in what area you're going to open your business in, the zoning is important. Quick story, before I found this space, I actually found another space like almost a year prior to this one. And I called the building department, and I had a lovely conversation with the person who answered the phone and told her what my idea was. The space was actually a restaurant before, so I figured it was okay. And we had the conversation. She told me about what kind of licensing and permits I needed. And when it was time, I was in contract. I paid money to these people for the lease. And it came time, I had architects do drawings. And when it came time to file my drawings and submit them, and we went to the building department, someone else took a look at the area and was like, this is not zoned for catering and events hall. It was zoned for a restaurant, but it wasn't zoned for catering and events.
That's important.
Yes. So legal requirements, zoning is important, research and planning. All of those things are just like super important. Also being flexible. This is something that I'm learning, and being flexible and adaptive, and being open to constructive criticism and comments and feedback from your customers to see how you can continuously make improvements on your business. Like I am very hard on myself. Like I'm always questioning, am I doing the right thing? Is this right? Is this good enough? Right. So I'm always asking people, I ask people to leave reviews. Like I want people to be honest. I don't want them to just say, oh, it's a beautiful, I appreciate that. Yes.
Right.
It's a beautiful space and all of those things. I love that. But also I'm looking for the honest feedback. Someone wrote a review that said that the lighting wasn't great in here. So now I'm looking at ways to improve my lighting. You know, like I said, those were things that actually I was planning on adding in the beginning stages, but like I said, my budget was eating up contractor, and I had to just get open with what I had. But these are things that I'm continuously working on, improving myself, improving my business, and being flexible, and just continuing to learn to see what trends were happening in the event-based business, so that I can stay on top of it and stay ahead of it. Like knowing, one of the things I remember you text me, like, wedding season is happening, start posting about weddings. Like I didn't know like what I need to do research on what seasons we're going into so I can start marketing to that. Graduation season was coming up. It's holiday season about to be now. After
July is the month to start advertising for holidays.
See, so, there you go. Yeah. So I need to, those are things that I'm learning as I'm going along, like with my marketing. That's
Right.
another thing. You have to have a budget for marketing.
Yeah.
Like by the grace of God, like I've just been using Instagram, which is free, and paying for my website basically in this one platform, Eventective. But marketing is key in getting yourself out there and people knowing about you.
So let me ask you this really quick. Eventective,
Hmm.
how's that working for you? Because I was getting a lot of business from Eventective. Are you seeing the same thing?
I get quite a few
Okay.
leads from, I get a lot of leads from Eventective. Not all of them land. I'm not the
Mm-hmm.
right fit for everyone. That's
Right.
okay. But I get enough that is covering my Eventective fees.
Right. Right. Right.
So I would recommend them. Yep.
Mhm. And
I've heard
so,
different feedback from other event space owners where they're saying that they don't get anything. I don't know why, but I've been having some success with
yeah.
Eventective. Yes.
And I think the key to some of the platforms, the directories out there, is to keep them updated. Keep, like when you get your, say for instance, if you have a baby shower on Sunday, post those new pictures on Eventective. Keep your content fresh
Yeah, I
there.
should do that.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
I
just
should do that
and also on your Google,
on my website. On my,
business page,
oh,
yeah,
mm-hmm,
go in and put those and put your keywords there. And there's a
mm-hmm.
plethora of free directories to post on as well to put your information. Put them on those free directories. It's not going to cost you anything, and that's going to help you with your SEO. And then you'll probably see a lot
We
more
have to talk
engagement.
about that too. Free
Yeah,
directories.
yeah,
Let me
yeah.
write that down.
Yeah, there's some free directories that you can put your post your venue on. Look at so one off the cuff is Peerspace. Are you on Peerspace?
No, I didn't use Peerspace because I didn't agree with their refund policy.
Policy. Okay. There's a host of other wedding directories and things you can put on. It's free. I'm not talking about the wedding warrant and the knot, but there are a lot of other free platforms that you can put your information on. And even if you don't get engagement from them, it's going to help you with your SEO. So that's going to help
Mm-hmm.
you with your Google ranking, right? So
Okay.
it's worth that. And that's something that you can, write out the little verbiage, whatever, or take the one from Eventective and and give it to your admin person, and have them to do so many a day. Because
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot. There's a lot out there
Okay.
that you can put it on. Yeah.
One of the things too that has helped me book is following up with people. Um,
Yes.
People are looking at, um, they're not only looking at my space, they're looking at others.
Hmm.
And sometimes just calling a person back and saying, hey, you came for a tour or you had inquired about my space, just wondering if you're still looking, if you want to come in for a tour or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, I've been, thinking about it and whatever. And they sometimes they forget they're busy. I mean, the event could be 6, 7 months away and they just forget. But sometimes calling somebody back and just
Yeah.
saying your
And
date is still available.
it's a human engagement, right? Everybody thinks that, it's all right to have a workflow and automation, but
Yes.
people really get a warm fuzzy when you follow up with them, when you call them, they hear a human on the phone. But not only that, that gives you the opportunity to see what they're looking for,
Yes.
and if you don't have that service at the time, then maybe down the road that's something you can implement. And
Yes.
not only that, that gives you the opportunity to negotiate with them. Well, if they're going to give you
Yes.
this, then I can do this. We have this. Oh, they don't have that. We have this. So
Right.
yeah. So following up is key. And like I said, automation is great.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when someone I think someone's going to take that extra step and take their time and call me. I'm
Yes.
thinking, well, they really want my business.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I'm glad to hear you say that. That's
I
awesome.
agree.
So
Yeah.
before we wrap up, is there anything else that you like to add and put out there?
Oh, besides, I don't want to sound cliche-ish or, but just if it's something that you really, if something that you really want to do, no matter how many courses you buy or information you get out there, you got to put it into action. You have to put your information into action and just go with it.
Right, right.
I
And,
guess that's it.
when you say that, I know I keep going, but when you say that, it triggers something because I can have strategy calls with people, and there was like, well, I will pay you everything. I will pay you whatever it is to do it all for me. So how can that be? That cannot be. As a
No.
venue owner, how can I do everything for you? You have to do your research. You have to know your market, right? And you
Right.
best know your budget, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And you have to know how your business is going to work. Like you have to do the work. You can't
Right.
have somebody else do it all for you.
Right, right. Yeah, you
That's
have
not
to,
going to work.
like I tell people all the time, I can give you the tools to set you up for success, but you have to take
Right.
those tools and implement them. I can tell you
Yes.
things every day, all day, but if you don't implement them, and that's what I find with a lot of my clients. That's why, when I
Mhm.
look on your page or look at something, I'm saying, oh, she really did it,
Yes.
because there's so many people. And we've talked about this. I'm just not here for the money. This is
Hmm.
my industry. I'm very much passionate about it, and I want people to succeed. But
Hmm.
I'm so glad that you drive it home that you got to pull up your sleeves and do the work. You know,
Yes, you do.
yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Yes.
well, Bonnie, it has been so good talking to you, and I thank you for your time. And I know my students will get enjoyment out of this. It was a lot of great information you shared with us, and
Thank you.
yeah, and I
You
wish
pushed
you,
me to do this, Bonnie, because I am
yeah,
not a camera person and talking.
and I'm not
I like to
either.
be behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think. Look, we don't have the same namesake for no reason. I mean, I'm the kind of behind the scenes girl, But this is one thing, and that we have to do. We have to get out here and let people know about our business,
Hmm.
and to help educate and bring others along with us. So
Yes.
yeah, so I'm so proud
Yes.
of
No,
you
I thank
for
you for pushing me to do this.
yeah.
I'm very nervous. I did well.
Like I told you,
And
it's
I
just
hope that I could
it's
be an inspiration to someone else too. Like
yeah.
I would love that.
I'm sure you will be, because I'm
Yeah.
telling you, anytime that I go on your page, I mean, I get a warm fuzzy. I think, oh, it feels like it's a success for me, because you
Oh,
you're
that's sweet.
really really doing so well, really
It
well.
is. It
And I
is.
tell
You helped me.
anybody, if they don't know how to do social media, look at Bonnie's page. She is doing all the right things,
Oh,
truly.
well, I thank
Yeah.
you for saying that. I'm telling you,
No, it's engaging.
I look at other people's for inspiration too.
Yeah.
And I say, okay, let me try this. I'm still learning on what to, I'm still here like during events, taking pictures, doing videos and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Like,
and
I
that's
don't
what
know
you
what
have
I'm
to
doing.
do, because
Yeah.
sometimes the photographers, they won't share the pictures with you, and so you have to get your own content.
Yeah,
So yeah, so
you do.
but
You
yeah,
do.
but again, thank you so much, and we'll chat offline about some of the other things we talked about. And again, continued success and God's blessings to you, and you're doing
Oh,
an
thank you.
amazing job.
Thank you so much. Thank you for everything, Bonnie. I do appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome. Now, thank you again for your time.
All right. You're
All right,
welcome.
all right. Wow, what an inspiring journey. A huge thank you to Bonnie Young for sharing her incredible story and valuable insights with us today. Starting an event venue is no small feat, but as we've learned, with the right mindset, resources, and a bit of creativity, it's absolutely possible. If you're just starting out or even thinking about launching your own space, remember, every challenge is an opportunity to grow, and every success is a step closer to realizing your dream. If you found this interview helpful, make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more tips, interviews, and strategies to help you build and grow your event venue. And don't forget to leave a comment below if you have any questions or thoughts. We love hearing from you. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, keep dreaming big and planning smart. We'll see you in the next video.